Next question. Write a short note on the smart city mission. This can be a component under the urban infrastructure, and this can also be either asked in the geography also. So I picked up this question, smart city mission. Let's understand these concepts properly. Smart city and Amrut are two urban developmental programs. Currently, if you see, we have 30% of the population in the urban areas and nearly 70% of the population in the rural areas. The urban areas are engines of growth. Huge amount of economic development or majority of investment happens through urban areas. These urban areas are lesser in number but hugely overcrowded. We divide the urban areas under the class 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 cities. But what happens is our urban areas are top heavy. That means metro cities like Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi, these are heavily overcrowded with the population, while tier 2 and tier 3 cities are not properly developed. What needs to happen is we need stepped migration, means from class 5 to class 4, class 4 to class 3, class 3 to class 2, class 2 to class 1, and all the areas should be equally developed. This will ensure balanced regional development. This will not stress urban areas. Since all the population are directly jumping from rural areas to the class 1 metro cities, the urban population present here, they are facing severe problems of environment, overcrowding, resource constraints. Since there is huge population coming here, to serve this population, some other population will also join them. Most of the times the people from rural areas, they migrate here. Due to lack of employment availability, they live in very bad conditions, poor housing conditions. These are called as slums. These are conditions, these slums are those places which do not have proper ventilation, do not have proper hygiene, sanitation, and the people who live here, they are providing services to the people, rich people living in these urban areas. If you observe, these urban areas face severe social problems, economic problems, environmental related problems, and because of this overcrowding, we see water problems, and we also see floods and everything, destruction of water bodies, because huge population is present and they are polluting the water bodies, and new infrastructure is being developed, and this is at the cost of water bodies, and this is causing also floods. So government has come up with the smart cities and the Amrut mission. Amrut is not related to this topic, but I want to give the idea. What they are doing here is they are actually developing the infrastructure of tier 2 and tier 3 cities also. It is not just restricted to the tier 1. So smart city, what they are doing is they are trying to provide proper area based development. Let's say we have the Hyderabad city. Either they focus on one particular area, like say cyber city, cyber towers. So they are developing a new area to accommodate new sections of the people, that is IT section, or entire city can be developed as a whole by providing the basic services. Or smart cities can help in the development of the tier 2 cities. So instead of people migrating to directly to the tier 1 or class 1, they migrate to the class 2. So this will ensure balanced regional development. Smart cities is different from the Amrut. Amrut tries to provide basic services, while smart cities tries to provide hi-fi services. It provides digital based services, technology oriented services, huge quality oriented services. It will also provide the basic services, but they also provide very high technology and high quality oriented services, while Amrut focus only on the basic essential services. If these are provided, then all the cities will be properly developed, and this will reduce the stress on the tier 1 cities. At the same time, government is also developing the rural development through integrated rural development programs, smart villages, agriculture development, so that there is a proper continuum of development in the rural and the urban areas. There is no dissected or islands of development. This is what envisaged through smart city program. Now let's go back to our question. See here, urban areas contributes to 60% of the GDP with 30% of the population, and this urban population is going to increase. This urbanization is going to increase. So that's why government has come up with smart city program to improve the quality of the life of the people living there. Now since the question is write a short note, there is always scope for you to bring different dimensions. Do not restrict yourself to single dimension. This is an open-ended question. If it is an open-ended question, then you can see here what is smart city, what are the different elements that are present in the smart city, what is coverage, smart city's mission, strategy, issues. So I have brought different dimensions that makes the question, answer of the question very comprehensive in nature. So what is the smart city? The smart city offers smart solutions to the urban problems. The objective is to promote cities that provide core infrastructure and give a decent quality of life to its citizens, and a sustainable environment and application of the smart solutions. The focus is also on provision of the basic amenities and inclusive development. So basically smart cities are those, it offers technology oriented solution which supports good green development of the city, inclusive based city, and so city with a very good amount of developmental and basic aspects responsible for the sustainable development. So what are the elements that are present in the smart city? Assured electricity, water supply, sanitation, proper transport, affordable housing, robust IT connectivity, good governance especially, sustainable environment, all these things. So what is the coverage? 100 cities will be selected for 5 years, and every year 100 crore will be given to that city, and there should be equal contribution by the center and state. Now that's the catch. How can state also bring same amount of money? And huge amount of money is required. For each city 100 crore and also 100 crore by the state government, and this should be done for the 100 such cities for 5 years. So huge amount of funds is required, and we face constraint in raising that funds. We could not raise that. That is a problem. So what is the strategy? The Pan City Initiative, this has 3 major components in the smart city development. One thing is you develop city as a whole by provision of the basic infrastructure, or you have to select some areas, like say in India, in the Hyderabad, we have developed the high-tech city area under the smart city. These are the words used by the government by retrofitting, means just fitting few things, whatever the things are there, like repairing and all. Redevelopment or greenfield, completely new area has been taken up and new infrastructure has been developed. Retrofitting, redevelopment and greenfield. This is also UPSC previous year question. And convergence approach, convergence of various schemes will also be done in this area to provide all those services. Now what are the issues? State governments are not willing to cooperate, not able to bring such amount of money. If you see, I have already mentioned about amount of funds that is required. State government could not bring that level of the funds, and this is a thing that is it is based on some kind of good governance. For the good governance to happen, people should also participate. For the people to participate, they also need good amount of technology oriented solutions. They need broadband digital connectivity. There is still again digital divide. Knowledge and awareness with the people is very low. If you see the solid waste management that is there in the city, people themselves do not have the awareness. If a city which is smart city, it should have very clean environment. Government has come up with the plastic waste and solid waste management rules, but the awareness again with the people is low. So when there is no participation of the people, citizen involvement, smart cities cannot happen. And this is technology oriented solution. That means hugely data driven. Do we have data security with us? All these things will capture huge amount of the data, surveillance. This can make state a surveillance oriented state. There is no proper monitoring and checks and mechanisms. We strongly need data security act to respect the privacy of the citizens. These things have not yet happened. Also, there is also a case study. These SPVs, what are these SPVs? Smart cities means certain amount of infrastructure is to be developed. Who will develop that infrastructure? Some special purpose vehicle will be created. This vehicle will do the investment, attract the private sector investment, and this SPV means a kind of company, private company. It will have board of members from both from the government and the private sector, and this is responsible for execution of the policies by attracting the investment. Firstly, investment did not happen, and the board is not performing well. If you see in the Panaji, Goa, the SPV functioned without a board for over 1 year. 4 board positions still remain vacant. So audit violations were there. I have also discussed about the huge amount of cyber security and cyber threats that can come by integration of everything with the technology. We are not yet fully prepared with our cyber security. Bringing such large scale of digitalization, digital platform can lead to the hacking and become potential threat. Slum development or rural transformations could not happen. Until and unless rural development is not happening, such kind of migration and influx into the urban areas and overburdening of the cities will not stop. You might develop the area, but there is always limitation. You have to address the root cause. Smart city is not the root cause. If you can provide the development in the tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities in the rural areas, then migration will reduce. Then you can afford to do development for the limited area and limited population. You cannot afford to do development for when there is a huge influx of the population. There should be some kind of gap. When there is migration, then obviously urban unemployment is increasing, and these special purpose vehicles are also bypassing your local bodies, the metropolitan government, urban local governments that are getting affected. And there is also regional disparities in implementation. Karimnagar and Varangana in Telangana figure prominently among the bottom 5 cities on different criteria, while Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat are performing well. And few positives also we have discussed. I have given case study where solid waste management has been properly developed. Greater Warangal is creating cycling and walking facilities. Solid waste systems has been properly developed. So few of the states have been taking initiatives, very good initiatives under the smart city development. Data driven governance, like some of the state governments, 70 of them have established integrated command and control centers to monitor the environment, traffic, water, logging, law and order situation, which facilitate faster decision making. So some cities have taken few initiatives. These are the positive aspects. Now what can be the conclusion? Smart cities should be complemented with the smart villages to bring rural-urban continuum, so that there is a balanced development, and this smart cities program will become successful in long term when entire development happens in a balanced and gradual, in an equitable manner. We cannot afford to bring development in a few pockets, which will fail over a period of time if we do not focus entire region. So this could be a good conclusion. Thank you.